Hello and welcome to our live telephone town hall meeting. We've just got a few folks on now, but we'll be getting started with this live forum in just a moment here with residents of Moreno Valley. Thanks and welcome to our call. We're dialing out to about 22,000 households around the city right now. We appreciate your patience. We'll get started in just a few minutes here. We only got a couple of folks on right now, so I'll go through some introductory comments and tell you how you can participate in tonight's Teletown Hall. Again, welcome to this live telephone town hall meeting with residents of Moreno Valley. We'll be joined shortly by Mayor Ixtin Gutierrez, who's here to answer your questions tonight. While we wait for more residents to join the call, I want to let you know how you can participate in tonight's live forum, and I'll also tell you about an important city event we have coming up. So we'll have some brief opening remarks from Mayor Gutierrez, and then we'll spend the rest of the forum taking questions from you folks in the live listening audience. If you already have a question for the Q&A portion of our forum, please press 0 on your phone now to submit that question. You can press 0 now or at any time to submit a question for Q&A. You'll have the opportunity to ask your question live, but if you prefer, I can read your question over the air instead, whatever's more comfortable for you. Either way, you can press 0 to submit a question at any time during this forum, then just let your operator know if you want me to read your question instead of bringing you live on the air. Again, press 0 to submit a question, and then let your operator know if you want me to read it instead of bringing you live. We have a quick event announcement before we get started tonight. On Saturday, February 1st, the city will host a 2020 Census Education and Job Recruitment event. Come and learn why it's so important for everyone to take part and be counted. Also, the census is hiring temporary workers in Riverside County, so come to this event and learn what jobs are available. Job opportunities related to the census are available. Again, that's the 2020 Census Education and Job Recruitment event, 10 a.m. to noon on Saturday, February 1st at the city's Conference and Recreation Center next to City Hall at Alessandro and Frederick. I'll repeat that information again a little bit later in the forum, so if you want to grab a pen and paper to write that or anything else down, feel free to do that. Again, you can press 0 at any time to submit a question for Q&A with Mayor Ixtin Gutierrez. And if you want to get email updates from the city, you can press 7 to give us your email address, and we'll gladly send you the weekly Moreno Valley at Work e-newsletter. So press 0 to submit questions for Q&A. Press 7 to sign up for email updates from the city. Let's go ahead and get started with the forum. It's my pleasure to turn it over to Moreno Valley Mayor Ixtin Gutierrez. Please go ahead.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Ian, for that nice introduction. And, I just want to say to all of the residents of Moreno Valley, Happy New Year. This is an exciting, exciting year for the city of Moreno Valley. And I just want to say thank you to all of the thousands of residents that are participating right now. It's so important for me to hear, what's really going on in the community, and I'm so excited to have you here tonight. Before we do get to the questions tonight, I want to pass along to you some important numbers, what I like to call the good news, that really talks to the current health of our city and our community. So first, more Moreno Valley residents are actually working than ever before, which is due in large part to the fact that we have created about 20,000 good local jobs in just the past 6 years. 20,000 local jobs. There's also new development coming to the city of Moreno Valley from the quarter, which includes hotels, all types of other retail, the district as well, which is going to have a hotel as well. Our current employment rate is 96%. We are also still the second largest city in Riverside County, and more people are moving here. Our city's population has grown about 5% in the past 5 years, and we expect to have a population of about 214,000 residents this year. Property values have also increased, and we all know when property values increase, it really helps us a lot. Properties have increased from 225,000 to the current 340,000 just the past 5 years. And maybe most important of all, average household income of Moreno Valley residents has climbed more than 36% from $63,000 to more than $85,000. Those impressive numbers come from an independent firm that specializes in economic analysis. So this isn't coming from us. It's actually coming from an independent party. What those numbers really tell me, however, is that our young city is finally coming into its own, and we're definitely headed in the right direction. To keep that momentum going, we need your continuing input. I need your help here. So you will have a chance in the next few minutes to answer a polling question about that. So, Ian and everyone, thank you so much for joining the call tonight. Let's go ahead and get to our first question.
Sure thing. Thank you, Mayor Gutierrez. And thank you, everybody who's joined us so far. We'll take our first question right away. But remember, you can press 0 to submit a question of your own. You can press 7 to get email updates from the city. We'll have a survey question following this first question live from Anna. Anna, you're live on the air with Mayor Gutierrez. Why don't you go ahead with your question, please?
Hi. My question is, what is MoVal Learns?
Well, thank you for that question, Anna. So MoVal Learns is actually a great program that we have in our community where we're actually helping our young people. You know, our young people are our future in our community, future taxpayers as well. And so what MoVal Learns basically does is we pay students while they're going to college, and especially if they're maintaining good grades, $500 stipends. And it's been a great program. We've actually received initial money from the Bloomberg Philanthropies, actually about $100,000 from there, and then we also matched that investment. So it's a great, great program, and I've actually spoken to many students, and it really, I mean, it's so personal. I've spoken to so many students that have told me how helpful it's actually been and how it's really, with that money, you know, they were able to get food, pay for gas, or at least have some shelter. So it's something that's very, very important to me. I want to make sure that we continue that as mayor, that we continue to support our youth. And by the way, we are the only city in the state of California that actually helps our students with money, okay, while they're going to college as a city.
Thank you so much, Mayor Gutierrez. And thank you, Anna. Great question. Appreciate you asking it. We have a ton of questions coming in, so if you've pressed 0 and you haven't had a chance to speak to an operator, hang tight. We'll have an operator with you shortly to get your question. And we'll be doing quick Q&A for the remainder of the forum. So go ahead and press 0 to submit those questions, and we'll get to as many as we can in this hour-long forum. We're going to run a quick survey question. You can vote on this using your phone. Then we'll take another question, then we'll have the results of this poll. So the question for you is, the City of Moreno Valley is working hard to maintain its public safety and quality of life services. As we continue to plan for the future, we want to hear from you. Please listen to the following list of 5 city services and vote for the one that's most important to you. I'll read this list twice so you can hold out your vote until you've heard all 5 choices. So, again, our question for you is, we'd like you to tell us which of the following 5 city services is most important for you. Press 1 if your top priority is maintaining 911 emergency response times. Press 2 if it's maintaining robbery and burglary suppression programs. Press 3 if your priority is maintaining clean and safe public spaces. Press 4 if it's repairing potholes and maintaining and improving city roads. Press 5 if your highest priority is maintaining and expanding youth recreation programs and facilities. I'll read that again, and again we're asking you to give us, of these 5 city services, the priority one for you. Press 1 if your priority is maintaining 911 emergency response times. Press 2 if it's maintaining robbery and burglary suppression programs. Press 3 if your priority is maintaining clean and safe public spaces. Press 4 if it's repairing potholes and maintaining and improving city roads. And press 5 if your priority is maintaining and expanding youth recreation programs and facilities. Thank you so much for voting in that poll. We'll have the results in just a moment here. First, we'll get our next question up. This one's coming from Bob. Hey, Bob, you're live. Go ahead with your question.
Hi, Mayor Gutierrez. How are you?
Good. Thanks, Bob. How you doing?
I'm doing great. My question is, what is the city doing to help improve our schools?
Well, that's a great question. And, you know, just even by you asking that question, it reminds me of that phrase, you know, that prevention is key, right? And starting young is very, very important. But I think it's important to really understand that both Moreno Valley Unified and Val Verde Unified districts, they're actually governed by separate school boards, and those individuals are actually elected by the people, so there is a different, they're governed differently than the city. But with that being said, I can tell you that the city has worked closely with them to provide internship opportunities, jobs for those youth through, like, for example, the Asterisk program during the summer, which is really, really important. We also started a program called the Mayor's Apprenticeship Program, Promoting Employment Development, also known as MAPT. And this is a program where we actually help at-risk youth throughout the year, and we provide them with internship opportunities and education on career readiness skills and those types of things. And it's worked phenomenal. It's just great. We also provide early education for 3 to 5-year-olds in the Time for Tots program, and we offer the after-school Think Together program as well, where we service over 43 school sites, almost more than 5,000 students in the after-school program. And it's just so important that we incorporate, arts, music, in those after-school programs. I know those times as actually the danger zone, right? And so we got to make sure that our youth are really involved during those after-school hours, and that's really important to me, and that's why I really work with them personally with the school district and also with our after-school provider, Think Together. Thank you for that great question. Appreciate that, Bob.
Yeah, thanks, Bob. Very much appreciate it. Thank you for the answer, Mayor Gutierrez. And again, thank you, everybody who's submitting all of these questions. We've got some great ones lined up. Keep pressing 0 to submit questions. And again, if you want to get email updates from Moreno Valley moving forward, you can press 7 on your phone. So press 7 if you'd like to get email updates from the city. That's the weekly Moreno Valley at Work e-newsletter. Press 7 to get that. We'll get our next question up live in just a moment from Stephen. But first, we've got the results of our survey question.
Great.
Yeah, we asked you to give us the top priority city service of the 5 that we listed. We had 30% of you saying it was maintaining robbery and burglary suppression programs. We had 21% said it was maintaining clean and safe public spaces. We had 17% say it was expanding youth recreation programs and facilities, and 16% apiece said it was maintaining 911 emergency response times and repairing potholes and maintaining and improving city roads. So thank you so much for giving that feedback. We really do appreciate it. We ran that same survey the last time, so we always like to make sure we're getting that feedback from participants in this forum. We'll get our next question up live. We've got Stephen on the line. Hey, Stephen, go ahead.
Hi there, Stephen.
Hey, guys. Hey, how's it going?
Good, good. Thank you. How are you doing tonight?
I'm all right, thank you. Well, my question, if I'm not mistaken, there was, a little while back, marijuana was legalized in the city, but there is nowhere to legally buy it. So how does that work? And is there going to be anywhere you can buy it?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. So, with Prop 64, I believe the statewide law that was passed, by the voters, they, voted to legalize cannabis, but it's up to the individual cities. And so, as a city, we did adopt an ordinance, and so we have taken into all of the illegal shops. We've closed those down, and right now there's actually some shops that are legalized. And so they're still going through the process and, making sure, because we want to make sure they have cameras. We want to make sure that they have a whole process set up before we even let them open. It's very strategic, for example, not being near schools and those kinds of things. But, we are following state law, but, we're just trying to make sure that our residents are safe first.
Perfect.
Great question.
Yeah, thanks, Stephen. Much appreciated. Let's get our next question up right away. We've got one coming in from Mike next.
Hi there, Mike.
Hi, Mayor. How are you doing?
Oh, thank you. Thanks for asking. What can I do for you tonight?
Yeah, my question is, when I'm driving around, sometimes I see trash and large items that have been dumped on the side of the road. And I was wondering, what is Moreno Valley doing about illegal dumping?
Thank you for asking that question, Mike. It's interesting that you say that. The other day I was driving off the 60 freeway going east, and I saw some illegal dumping there too. So it does happen, unfortunately, and it just gets me so upset about that. But what I can tell you, is that we do have a hotline number that you can call, and I'm just going to share that with you. It's 951-413-3340, and that's our Code and Neighborhood Services Department, and you can always report there any type of illegal dumping that's happening. But I know that sometimes we're driving, right, and, we don't have the opportunity to call on those things. So if you do get once you're to your destination, you can open up the City of Moreno Valley app. So we actually have an app, and if you have your smartphone, you can go to the App Store and then search the City of Moreno Valley, and I really encourage you to download it because it's very, very helpful. You can take a picture, you can stay anonymous, you can leave your phone number to get receive a response if you want to, and it works within, we have a response time within 48 hours that will take care of that. So it goes into a system and a queue, and then we follow up and try to make sure that that's taken care of. And I've actually personally myself, I've done that and not left my name, and it really, truly does work. So I would encourage you to download that Moreno Valley City app on your phone, and then you can do that, or you can call the hotline number for the illegal dumping. But great question. I really like that. Thank you.
Yeah, excellent question. We've got a lot of them coming up, so I'll get right to our next one. We've got this one. It's actually come in from a lot of our participants, so I'll go ahead and ask it on all of their behalf. The question is, what is being done to protect the wild burros?
Well, great question. And what I can tell you with that is we've actually done another video. Actually, I did that with a council member of District 2, another video where we've actually tried to educate the public, because this is where we really need your help, and we need your help and your assistance in really not feeding the wild burros, because that's a major problem right there. So we really need that assistance, and we're also working with the county and then also other cities, that are kind of around that area, to come up with a solution. So thank you. Thank you for that question. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody submitting that question. Thank you much. We've got another live one coming up next. This one's from Melody. Hi, Melody. You're up. Go ahead. Melody, can you hear us?
Hi, Melody.
Melody might have walked away from her phone. Let me go ahead and read it for her. Her question is, what's being done?
I'm sorry. I'm right here.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
Melody,
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Go ahead, Melody.
I just wanted to know what's being done about the homeless issue in the city.
Yes, thank you for asking that. And just to give you a little background, I grew up in the city myself, and so I was here when there was only 60,000 residents, and so it was a lot smaller, the city, and so obviously less people and less issues. And now we're 214,000, so we see more issues and possibly more homeless as well. One of the things that I can tell you is that I started a program called the Homeless to Work program, and it's been very, very effective. And this is in partnership with Salvation Army. And what we do with the Homeless to Work program is we actually go out and we try to find them and try to see if they want to work for the city to beautify the city or clean up the city. Now, it doesn't help everyone, unfortunately, because not all of them want to participate, right? So one of the things that we do is we use another program, another provider, to actually reach out to them and provide outreach services too. Now, we also rely on your help. So if you know of homeless in a certain area, you can also report that with our app, or you can also call my office, and I'll give you my number, 951-413-3008, just to let me know about it. And then what I do is I open up a case to follow up on that so that we can get them some help or at least move them along the way from that area. And it is an issue. It is an issue, and it, unfortunately, this is something that, to be quite honest, is happening not only in this city but throughout the region, in the state, and nationally. But we are fighting it, and we are, taking measures, to support them and to help them, and so that way, Moreno Valley residents can feel safe, especially when you go out to the businesses and those kinds of things. It's really important. And one thing I want to add. The County of Riverside, they did an actual study called the 2019 Homeless Point in Time Count. So this wasn't done by the City of Moreno Valley or anything like that. And in fact, once they did the study last year, they actually found, because of the Homeless to Work program, I believe, our homeless rate went down by 50%. All of the other cities in the county, they actually went up. The City of Moreno Valley was the only city that actually went down. That being said, I still think, we have a homeless issue right now that we still need to support and help them, and that's where I really ask you and anyone that's out there in the in this telephone town hall to let us know where they're exactly at, so that way we can go out there and get them the right help. But thank you for that question. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Melody. Great question. We've got another one that a lot of folks are asking, so I'll just go ahead and ask it on everybody's behalf. It's a question we get on all of these teletown halls, and the question for you, Mayor Gutierrez, is what is the city doing to repair our roads?
Thank you so much, Ian, for that question. What I can tell you is some facts here. From 2007 to about 2015, the city, unfortunately, at that time was not investing much money into the roads, but now we are. So there's a lot of roads that we have to fix. And what I can tell you is that just last year, we invested over $12 million into the roads. And so we're trying to fix our arterial streets, which are like the main avenues like Alessandro, Paris, all those things, and then also the residential streets. And so this year, we've allocated about $13 million to our roads. And then we also have a 5-year plan. So a 5-year plan to really revitalize our infrastructure as far as our roads. And I think it's a great plan. And this plan, was actually developed in consult with the council members and also with the staff and you guys that provided input on which of the roads really need that help. But unfortunately, we can't do it all at one time, too, because then that would, number one, cause a lot of traffic issues, and we don't want that, right? We want people to get to school on time, to work on time, all those kinds of things, and then also it's a money issue as well. But we do have a plan. We have a 5-year plan, so next year we're allocating another $13 million, and in the following year even more money to make sure that we're fixing those roads. Because, safety is very, very important, so thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mayor. And great question. Thank you, everybody who submitted that. Hopefully we were able to answer that question for you, and go ahead and press 0 if you have any other questions to submit. We've got a little bit of a backlog in the email collection queue, so if you pressed 7 to give us your email address for updates, we'll get to you. Just hang tight. We've just got a big hit on that. Press 7 for giving your email address. So if you did press 7, hang out, and if you haven't pressed 7 to get email updates from the city, feel free to press 7 now, and we'll get your email address and get you those updates. We've got a public service announcement that I read a little bit earlier in the call, but some of you might not have been on the forum at that time, so I'm going to read that again before we take our next question from Samantha. So we have an important city event coming up. This is really important for the city and for you. On Saturday, February 1st, the city will be hosting a 2020 Census Education and Job Recruitment event. So that's your chance to come and learn why it's important for everyone to take part and be counted in the census. Also, the census is hiring temporary workers in Riverside County, so you can come to this event and learn what jobs are available related to the census. Again, that's the 2020 Census Education and Job Recruitment event. It's 10 a.m. to noon on Saturday, February 1st. So the 2020 Census Education and Job Recruitment event, 10 a.m. to noon on Saturday, February 1st at the city's Conference and Recreation Center next to City Hall at Alessandro and Frederick. That's the city's Conference and Rec Center next to City Hall at Alessandro and Frederick next Saturday, February 1st, 10 a.m. to noon. I'll read that one more time before we get to the end in case you didn't get a chance to write down all that information, but let's get our next live question up next from Samantha. Samantha, go ahead.
Hi, Samantha.
Hi, good evening, Mayor. I had a question. I was wondering, how can I become a city board member or commissioner?
Well, thank you for asking that question. I don't always have all the answers, to everything, and I know, some of our elected officials as well, too, so we rely actually on a lot of support from the community, and so that's why I really encourage people to become commissioners and become board members, and so we have Arts Commission, we have the Parks and Trails Committee as well. I mean, there's the Traffic Safety Commission. So if you go actually to our website and you go to moval.org/serve, so again, it's moval.org/serve. You can actually apply there today and just fill out the application, and then you submit it to the city clerk's office. So when you come into City Hall, it's actually located on the second floor, and it's called the city clerk's office, and just submit it there. But we're definitely always looking for more board members and commission members because, we want to make sure that we can put your ideas into action. And so I look forward to hopefully seeing yours and Samantha. So looking forward to seeing
much. Thank you.
Samantha. All right, let's get our next question. And this is one that Alex asked me to read. Alex wants to know, when's the state of the city this year?
Oh, great. Okay, well, thank you, Alex, for that question. So the State of the City is going to be in August, and it's going to be August 20th from 11:30 a.m. to about 1 p.m. So looking forward, if you want to join us, that's really an opportunity there for the residents to really learn about what's happening in the community. And at that actually address, I will talk about all of the great things that our city has actually accomplished in the past year, and then also our vision for our community and where we want to go for the next coming year and the next coming 5 years as well. And what I can tell you is that I do want to make this city, a regional destination. I want to put our community on the map for positive reasons, and so I really encourage you to come to that State of the City. Thank you for asking that question.
Yep, absolutely. And our next one's a pretty straightforward one, too. The question is, when is the amphitheater going to be open?
Great question. So the amphitheater, right now we're working on finding a contractor to build it and everything, and so hopefully by this July of 2020, we will actually have the amphitheater built out. And for those of you that don't actually know, the amphitheater is going to be located right behind the Conference and Rec Center. And this is going to be a one-of-a-kind. I mean, it's going to be amazing, especially when you're driving down Alessandro or when you're leaving town or going into town. You're going to see this beautiful outdoor amphitheater. It's going to be large and nice. We're going to be able to have events, for the school, for bands, concerts, and especially during the summer for our Moval Movies and Rocks. It's going to be wonderful. So it's going to be a state-of-the-art, and the sound system is going to be great. So really looking forward to that. And I think that's, again, one of our major goals is to be a destination city for others. And so I think this is going to help put us on the map as well. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Mayor. And remember, folks, you can press your question if you haven't already. You can either ask your question live, or you can let your operator know you want me to read your question over the air. I'll read this next one. Question is, what is the general plan update? Mayor Gutierrez?
Yes, so with the general plan update, this is something that we actually do in our community every 10 years. And this is something where we get input from you as residents, and we ask you, okay, what's the vision that we want for our community? And then also we talk about zoning and those kinds of things as well. So the general plan update does take about 2 years generally once we start. And so we have already started that process, and we're going to have multiple opportunities. We're going to take this, on the road actually. So we're going to be getting input from a lot of you in your districts of where you live, really trying to find out, what is it that you would like to see in the community to really, that way we can update our general plan and meet your needs.
Thank you so much, Mayor, and thank you for that question. Our next question is coming from Matthew, and Matthew's asking, are there any new restaurants coming to town? I know that's a passion project for you.
Yes, definitely. So, I love to eat. I love restaurants. And but what I can tell you, Matthew, is we do have several restaurants that are actually coming. Golden Corral is almost set to open off Day Street. Also, right over by the district as well, hopefully once everything gets settled there. And then by the Quarter area, which is right off of Day Street and Eucalyptus, there's more restaurants and food places to go to, definitely. And so we have, just to add a couple just off the top of my head, Cupcake and Espresso Bar is going to open up their third location, and that's located near Sunnymead Ranch, actually, in that shopping center where the old Ralph's used to be. And also we have La Michoacana's Chapas Family Ice Cream off of Iris and LaSalle, too. But there's a lot of great other restaurants coming, and again, I encourage you to check out the Quarter, which is off of Day Street and Eucalyptus, where we have two major hotels going there, because there's going to be some nice restaurants there, too, and then also by the district, too, once that all gets developed.
Perfect. Thank you for the question, Matthew. I'm sure that's on a lot of folks' minds, and thank you for the answer, Mayor.
Yeah, definitely.
Next one's coming from Chanel, and we've got her live. Go ahead, please, Chanel.
Hi, Chanel.
Good evening, Mayor. My question to you would be, are we going to have a summer youth program or job programs for our youth for the summertime?
Yes, so what I can tell you, one of the things that we have actually in the city, we have two major summer youth programs that we do. We partner with the school district on one called the Asterisk program, and we help place those students in the city in various departments. And then we have another program called the Summer at City Hall program. That's a program I started about, I want to say maybe 5 years ago. And that's a program where we provide youth leadership opportunity. So every day, so they come to the city Monday through Thursday. Rough estimate about from 8 to about 12 is their leadership class. They go to lunch, and then in the afternoon, they actually participate in working in a certain department. And so it's a really great program. In fact, one of the students, had me go to their graduation, and it was just amazing what he told me, because he said that, his family wasn't there at the graduation when we had the graduation, and he was just happy that I was there for him. So it's a very positive program, the Summer at City Hall. And then actually there's a third program that we have throughout the year, and that's called the Mayor's Apprenticeship Program. So if you want to know more information, and I can definitely provide you that, if you call, and actually we have your contact information, so I'm going to make sure that my staff follows up with you and provides you the names of those programs, and also when to apply, because maybe you can have, a family member or someone get into those programs because they're really
Absolutely.
great.
I have 3 youth in my, so I definitely will look into that, and also because I know as a youth for me, my parents, we did summer jobs. So
yes.
I definitely would love to get my children in something like that.
Yes, definitely. And I believe they do have to be 16, in some of the programs. They have to be 16. So, yeah, good.
Okay.
Great.
Okay, thank you so much for your time.
No problem. You have a good evening.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, Chanel. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's get our next one up. We've got one from Melissa live next. I'm also going to give everybody a chance in case you didn't get to vote in our polling question earlier. I'll rerun that in just a moment in case you joined a little late so you can vote in our poll. We have Melissa live. You're live, Melissa.
Hi there, Melissa.
Hi. Thanks for taking my call. I was actually wondering if the city has any plans to add a third library branch.
Yes, well, thanks for that question. We are actually planning to add a third library branch, and in fact, we allocated money already in the budget for that. So we do hope to have that already done, and we already know the location. Actually, in fact, it's going to be right off of Iris and Paris, so right next to the Jitters Coffee. So right next door to there will be a new library branch. So it'll be our third library branch in the city of Moreno Valley, and we're really looking forward to it because our library does a lot of programs for our youth and for our community and just everyone. So thank you.
Thank you, Melissa. Appreciate you being on. All right, let's get to our next question in just a moment here. First, I wanted to give everybody who didn't get a chance to vote in our poll a chance to vote in that poll. So I'll just be reading it one time through, and you can vote using your phone if you haven't already, and then we'll get on to our next question from our live audience. A quick reminder, of course, you can press 0 to submit a question if you haven't already. Many of you have, and just hang tight. We'll get to as many as we can. We've got about a half hour left. So our question for you is, we'd like you to please give us the city service that's most important to you. So out of these 5, what's most important to you? Press 1 if it's maintaining 911 emergency response times. Press 2 if it's maintaining robbery and burglary suppression programs. Press 3 if it's maintaining clean and safe public spaces. Press 4 if it's repairing potholes and maintaining and improving city roads. And press 5 if it's expanding youth recreation programs and facilities. So if you didn't get a chance to vote in our poll earlier, please do that. That's the only poll we'll have tonight, so go ahead and vote. We appreciate that feedback. We're wondering which city service is most important. Again, it's 1 for maintaining 911 emergency response times, 2 for maintaining robbery and burglary suppression programs, 3 for maintaining clean and safe public spaces, press 4 for repairing potholes and maintaining and improving city roads, and press 5 for expanding youth recreation programs and facilities. Thanks again, everybody. Let's get our next question up. And this is a question we've gotten in various forms from a couple of folks, so I'll just read it in kind of a simplified format and give the mayor a chance to answer. So the question is, how is the city doing financially, Mayor?
Okay, great. Thank you for asking that question, Ian. One of the things that our city is actually doing, we're actually doing very, very well, relatively strong. In fact, the Fiscal Times just a couple of years ago ranked us the top third city, most financially solvent. Not in the region or state, but in the nation. So that's just amazing news, and so we're really, really doing well there. But one of the things that does concern me is, the international news, the national news and things like that, and sometimes that can affect our economy as well. So we are monitoring that very, very closely, and then also as we get more residents, right, into the community, that results in more services. We're going to need to fix more of the roads and all of those kinds of things. Make sure that we have more public safety as well. So keeping all of those things into account, because all of those things cost money. But what I can tell you is that overall, we have been able to balance our city budget when other cities can't do that 8 years in a row. So that's great news to them. Thank you.
Very impressive. Thank you, Mayor. And thank you for those folks who submitted that question about how the city's doing financially. Thanks so much. Quick reminder, you can press 7 if you'd like to get email updates from the city. We just cleared out that queue, so if you haven't had a chance to press 7 to get email updates from the city, that's the weekly Moreno Valley at Work e-newsletter. If you'd like to get that e-newsletter and be kept updated a little better electronically moving forward, you can press 7 on your phone right now. We'll get your email and keep you better updated moving forward. And, of course, you can press 0 if you have any questions you'd like to submit. Our next question comes from Danielle, and she's asked me to read it. The question is, what is the city doing for lost pets?
All right. Well, with lost pets, one of the things that we're actually doing is making sure that we're very active, in going out, in the community to try to find them as well. It's really, really important. And just want to give you a little background there. I actually found my two dogs from the animal shelter, Kayla, which is Labrador, and Lassie, a Beagle. So I can tell you that our animal shelter is doing a wonderful job. We did also get a $30,000 grant just recently from Petco, so that's also helped us. And then we also won $60,000 in the past year from them as well. We also have a new program called Finding Rover, and I think this is a really cool program, by the way, because it's a free computer service-based facial recognition program. And so it really puts us on the map as a city, because we have this, and it helps you find your lost pet and then obviously reunite with your lost pet. So we have that new technology that we're using called Finding Rover, and then just being very active in our community and responding, to calls is one of the main things that we're doing. So thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Mayor. And thanks for that question from Danielle. All right, we've got another question coming up, and this is a question we've gotten from a few folks, and we actually got it from our Spanish simulcaster broadcasting this event in Spanish as well tonight. So the question is, in general, how can I get a job with the city of Moreno Valley, but specifically Jewel in our Spanish simulcast said she's been in the U.S. for many years, wanted to apply for a position in the mayor's office, originally from Venezuela, and has a formal education, would love to work for the city. So how can folks get a job with the city of Moreno Valley?
Well, thank you for that. So one of the things, and her name was Jules?
Jewel. Yep.
Jewel. Yeah, what I can tell you, if you go to our website, so moval.org/jobs, and that tells you right there, all of the jobs that we have. So there has to be an opening, so that's the first part. And so you have to go to moval.org/jobs and then apply from there. We also have our Employment Resource Center, though, by the way, and at our Employment Resource Center, we have connections with other cities and other organizations. We have a list of job opportunities and also training programs that we have, certificate programs. All of that's free, by the way. And so I would encourage you to reach out, to our Employment Resource Center and also our website, moval.org/jobs. But that's the first thing is, there has to be an opening, and then you apply from there. And then generally there's 2-level interviews that take place, and those are handled at the staff level. So thank you, Joel, for asking that question.
Thanks, Jewel, and thanks everybody else who's interested in a job with the city. Let's get our next one up from Macy live. Hey, Macy, you're live with the mayor. Go ahead, please.
Hi there, Macy.
Hi, how you doing? I just have a question. I'm trying to see what are our cities going to do about holding the businesses accountable to keeping their area clean, like in the shopping centers. I do call in a lot and explain about different areas because it really looks bad because I go to any other city and their shopping centers is clean. They look alive, so I'm just trying to see what is our city going to do to hold these owners accountable for keeping their centers up.
Thank you. Well, no, thank you for asking that question, Macy. And, that's something that's real important to me because it gets me very upset, especially if I go to a shopping center and it's not clean. It makes the image of the city look bad. And so I definitely understand where you're coming from. And one thing I would ask is if, after this call, I'm going to follow up with you because I want to find out, what are some of those major ones that you see, because we want to make sure that we follow up with those plaza owners because we do have ordinances and we do have rules. And we do go out there and cite them, but only if we know about it. And I've called in on several of them, and we've cleaned up many of them now because of, what they weren't doing. So, if there's anyone in particular that maybe in a certain area that you might want to just mention over the phone right now, I can definitely follow up, but I can also follow up with you personally too.
Okay, one of my main concerns is the Town Gate Shopping Center.
Okay,
that
the Town Gate Shopping Center.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay, we're gonna. Yes, that center there, and I have called in on that center like several times.
Okay. Well, thank you for letting me know. This is why I love to do these town halls because I want to hear from you. I want to hear from the residents. How does everyone really feel? About what's really going on, and so this is telling me that there's some issues there. So we're going to take that into account, and we're going to follow up with you. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks so much.
And also, I just wanted to add in, even calling in, I normally call I had a mind blank, but I normally call the freeway to have them to clean the area also. So I do have to call in, and I know I call in and complain about the dirt that I heard somebody ask questions about on the side of the road, and I do a lot of that calling in also.
Well, thank you. I mean, I just want to thank you for that, because not a lot of people do that, and so we need more people like you, definitely, to help us, and we'll definitely follow up on that.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate your help.
You have a good night, okay?
Thanks.
Take care.
All right.
All right, let's get our next one up. This one's going to come live from Mohammed. A quick reminder that you can press 7 to get email updates. We cleared that queue out again. Thanks, everybody who's signed up for email updates during this forum tonight. We'll be sure to get you on that email update list. But if you haven't already, go ahead and press 7 to get email updates. We've got our next live question coming live from Mohammed. Mohammed, you're live. Go ahead.
Hi there, Mohammed. How you doing tonight?
Yes. Well, good. Thank you very much for having me over the phone. And this is my first time, and I'm very glad to have this opportunity. I'm resident of Sunnymead Ranch, and it's been about 7 years ago. Roads were repaired, but again, after 3 years, we have seen all cracks coming up back again. Mm-hmm. So I have been in the association's meeting, and I raised the questions, and they told me the same question, that when will be our turn to get our roads and pathways fixed. They told me, it is the city's job. So I said, okay, then I kept quiet.
And when I'm assuming, go ahead.
Yeah, since I got an opportunity to ask you directly, so Mr. Mayor, how can you help us in this matter?
Yeah, well, I'm assuming that your area is, public streets, right, that are in Sunnymead Ranch area? Is that where? Okay.
Yes, in residential area.
Yeah, if it's a residential area and it's city-owned, then what we do is have a pavement management index, that kind of tells us, how all the roads are kind of doing. And so we got to make sure that we put those streets on our plan, because we have a 5-year plan. And so we have been, I think we've actually done about almost more than 200 residential streets that we've actually fixed in the city, where we've done the slurry seal, and then the arterial streets we've actually done repavement. So I want to find out, exactly, what street that is. And so what I'll do is we'll follow up with you, so that way you don't say that over the phone, and we'll follow up with you just to find out what street that is, and then we can try to get that on to our list, because that's really important as well. But we have allocated $12 million last year to roads, and in this year, $13 million. And like I mentioned, we've already fixed over 200 residential streets, and then already a lot of arterial streets, the main ones, the main areas. But definitely, we can find out, what's happening in your area. So did you leave your contact information with the caller?
I left my email address. And,
you left your email address. Okay. Well, I think we would have his phone number too, right?
We do. Yep.
Okay, so it looks like we have your phone number, and I have your name here as Mohammed. So we'll give you a call back. Okay, so in the next couple of days, just to follow up and find out where exactly these streets are. Okay?
I would really appreciate your concern about helping us in this matter. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you so much, Mohammed. You have a great night, okay? Thank you.
You
Thanks,
too.
Mohammed.
Thank you.
All right, let's get to our next question right away. This one comes from Lisa, and she's asked me to read it. She says, we're right next to March Air Reserve Base and wants to know, what are you doing to help veterans?
Well, thank you, Lisa, for that question. And, one of the things that we're actually doing is a lot of programs, in fact, for our veterans. We have a program where we're encouraging businesses to hire Moreno Valley residents that are actual veterans, and we're giving incentives to those businesses. And just in a few weeks at the council meeting, we will be proposing some amendments to provide incentives to the veterans as well that get hired. So that's something that's really, really important. And the other thing that we also do is partner with the U.S. Vets, which is also right there by the base. and they house many veterans that are unfortunately, don't have the housing. And so we partner with them a lot, in providing supplies, food, those kinds of things, and events, and we'll continue with that. We'll definitely continue with that. And if you have any ideas, as well, I'm always open to that. So like I've always mentioned, I don't know all this, I don't have all the solutions, right? So if there's other ways that we can help veterans, please feel free to give me a call at 951-413-3008. We can sit down over a cup of coffee and you can share with me also some of those ideas because, we want to put those ideas into action. So thank you.
Could you give that phone number one more time, please, Mayor?
Yes, it's 951-413-3008.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And we've got about 15 minutes left in our live teletown hall. If you have any feedback, as the mayor mentioned, if you have any thoughts or ideas that you'd like to give to us and you're not comfortable submitting them in this forum, when we get to the end of our forum in less than 15 minutes here, you'll have an opportunity to leave us a voicemail message. So even if you're not comfortable going live in our forum or submitting a question through our operators tonight, you can stay on until the end of the forum. You'll have an opportunity to leave us a voicemail message, and you just make sure you leave your message along with your name and your contact information. We'll reach back out to you, or you can just submit an anonymous comment without any contact information. We're glad to get that feedback as well. Again, just stay on the line till the end of the forum, and you'll have that opportunity to leave us a voicemail message. But we're going to take as many questions as we can in the time that we have left. And our next one's going to come live from Sierra. Sierra, thanks for waiting. You're live.
All right.
Hi. How are you guys?
Doing well. Thank you for asking. And how's your evening going so far?
It's going good. I just finished feeding the kids dinner. So my question is this. Are there funds or any programs in this city that are aimed at the age group of 14 to 18 years old? And if so, can you please tell me what they are, because I work closely with football organizations and we are losing our kids at those ages. And I love the college program that we have going on, but we've got to get them there.
Yeah, definitely, and especially if they're at-risk youth as well. So thank you for that question. And what I'll do is I'll ask my police chief to provide some more input as far as some of those programs that we actually have. But one of the things that I know that we do have is the YAP program, which helps some of our youth as well. And then obviously with our after-school programs, if we can get them into those after-school programs, that's really important too. And then, we have obviously, just different types of other ones as well. So I'm going to have him kind of share with us a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to get the police chief up in just a moment here, so stand by, and we'll have another question in just a moment. One more call, last call for emails. If you'd like to get email updates, this is your last chance to give us your email address to get those updates during our live forum. Again, you can press 7 to give us your email address. Yeah. Go ahead.
Good evening. This is Captain John Salisbury, and the Chief of Police here from Moreno Valley, and I would just want to touch bases with you real briefly here on some of the things that we do to interact with our children here and try to intervene in some of those behaviors that you described. We do have a number of school resource officers that we send out into our schools daily. In fact, right now we have 10. Our mission there is to interact with these kids and intervene in the behaviors there at the school level, obviously to provide an enhanced level of security, but also to interact with the kids one-on-one and give us that opportunity to steer them in the right direction. Furthermore, we have our Explorer program, our Police Explorer program, and that's a function that we run here at the Moreno Valley Station, where we vet these kids and allow them to come in and interact with our law enforcement officers. We teach them a lot about law enforcement in general, but we also mentor them at every level, teach them about leadership and accountability, and hopefully steer them in the right direction. How about that? Is that enough there, or do you need more?
I think that it was a great answer. I just think, realistically, with the at-risk youth in that age group, the likelihood of them partnering with a police-run program or something of that sort, it probably limits the kids that are actually using those resources, because a lot of these kids aren't going to go and reach out to an officer in order to have something that is more positive to do during those hours, when they have no supervision or nothing to do after school. So I think that as a city, maybe we should be thinking about a program that isn't oversaw by the police department, where these kids that already don't have a good,
relationship or
relationship with police or view of the police. Not saying that it's warranted at all. I'm just saying that that's the reality that we're faced with. And in order to reach these kids, we've got to be realistic and find a way that is going to draw them in and get them to use the resources. Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah. Well, one thing that I would really, really encourage, and what I'm going to do too, is make sure that we get you a list of some of the organizations that are actually already out there. I work really well with the nonprofits that we have in our city, and some of these nonprofits actually have mentoring programs for the youth. For example, even just the Human Services Club, at Moreno Valley College. I was just talking to the chair and the head of that department, and we want to really expand that program so that we can help more youth. There's also other organizations that have that, and I think, if we can, touch into those organizations and get them to expand with some more support, I think that will definitely help. One of the things that really helped me when I was in high school was a mentoring program. So I think, if we can get our youth in some mentoring programs, that's really important. But like you mentioned, they'll probably be afraid to maybe go into like a Police Explorer program, but maybe they can do Fire Explorer, or maybe they can do participate in a mentoring program that's kind of small, that is just one-to-one with a role model in the community that can kind of help guide them. And there's actually some great organizations that are out there. For example, I know there's another one called Sigma Beta Xi. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you a list, because I don't have all of them off the top of my head, but I think that's where we can start too, is somehow promoting that information.
Great. Thank you so much, Mayor. Very much appreciate that. And Sierra, really appreciate that question and that feedback. That's very helpful, and we appreciate your participation. I thank you so much. All right, we're going to get our next question up right away. And a quick reminder as I ask this question, the question from Marissa is there a city newsletter or something I can subscribe to keep up to date? And I'll remind you that you can press 7 to get the city's e-newsletter, but I'll pass it over to the mayor to speak to other options for keeping up to date with the city.
Yes, so definitely we actually have 2 major newsletters. One is the mayor's weekly message. That's the one that I have. So hopefully you can subscribe to that one. That would be great. And then the other one we have MoVal at Work. And that one actually comes out every Friday, and we actually share the good news of what's happening in the community. I also encourage you as well to go to our Facebook page and like our Facebook page, the City of Moreno Valley, our Instagram page, Twitter, any one of those as well, because we always put announcements and updates of events and all those kinds of things. So I highly encourage you to do that. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Mayor. And thanks for that question. We'll get our next one up right away. This one comes from Will. He asks, what is the iMake Innovation Center? I don't know what the iMake Innovation Center is. I'm curious.
Yeah, well, let me tell you about it. So the iMake Innovation Center, Will, is actually a center in partnership with the City of Moreno Valley and also Moreno Valley College. It's actually located at Moreno Valley College, and it's about 4,100 square feet, and it's a makerspace. So it's really an opportunity for the community. So it's, for the community members, it's free for Moreno Valley College students and anyone out there in the community to go there. They do 3D printing. They do all sorts of different things for business leaders as well, training on how to use 3D printers. So it's a really great center. In fact, I was actually able to go to their ribbon cutting. I want to say it was about a month ago, maybe the first week of December, and it was amazing. They did so many great things there. I highly encourage you just to stop by and just check it out, and I think you'll be really excited about it. And hopefully the whole point of it is that just like the city of Toronto and other major cities, they have these innovation hubs or innovation iMake centers where people can actually test out their ideas and, kind of be those innovators that we want, right, in our community. So the whole point of that is to hopefully spark an interest for our students and help with the entrepreneurship part and also with innovation. So thank you. Thanks, Will.
Appreciate it, Will. Great question, and thank you, Mayor. let's get to our next one. I'll just go ahead and read a few so we can get to some more questions in before the end of our forum. Next question is, where is the new skate park?
Oh, the famous skate park. Okay, every time I drive by that street, I'm always seeing a lot of kids there that are just riding almost any time, actually, of the day. So it's actually located off of Frederick Street between Cottonwood and Dressia. And it's known as the Community Park. So there's a lot of youth that are there, I want to say from early morning till almost until the lights go out, till like 9 o'clock at night.
Wow.
Yes.
Excellent. All right. Great question. Thank you for submitting that. Our next one's coming up quick. Question is, how can I set up a meeting with the mayor and the city or a city council member?
Thank you. We're always looking forward to those one-on-one meetings. I think we can always kind of hear from you, what your concerns are, and then hopefully try to resolve those issues. So one thing that you could do is you can go to the City of Moreno Valley app, which you can download through your smartphone, and you can actually message us there, or you can actually call 951-413-3008. That's my phone number, and you can ask to make an appointment. And I'm more than willing to sit down with you, and whether it's at my office or maybe it's at a coffee place or wherever, we can always, wherever it's most comfortable, meet one-on-one to get your answers.
Perfect. Thank you very much. All right, let's get another one in here, and this is another one we've gotten from a few folks. Question is, I have a large item to throw out. Can the city help?
Well, definitely. One of the things we do is we partner with Waste Management. They are the provider for our trash management. So what you can do is you can call them at 1-800-423-9986, and they have a program, actually, which is where you can throw 4 bulky items away every month. And so if you call them and you just tell them, they'll tell you like at what time, usually it's the next day, you just put it out there and then they'll throw it away. It's actually a great program. I actually used it myself, and it worked well, and it's free. So that's the good thing. The other thing is, too, if you want to recycle something or anything like that, you can also call our recycling department, which is 951-413-3109. Again, the number is 413-3109. You can also use the city website and go to moval.org, and then there, if you click resources, we have the phone numbers to all of those departments for waste management and for our recycling department. But yes, it's very, very important that the community knows about this, that you don't have to throw your things out, on vacant lots, and in fact, it makes the city look bad. So it's really important that you reach out to Waste Management, you reach out to our recycling department. These services are free. They're free to the community, and we need your help. So please do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. And thanks for all these great questions. We are about at the end of our hour, so again, if you want to leave us a voicemail message with any additional thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, you can do that just by staying on the line, and we'll wrap up in just a minute here. I'll give the Mayor a chance to make some closing comments as well. But again, if you want to leave us a message with any additional thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, just stay on until the end of the forum. And by staying on until the end of the forum, you'll have the opportunity to leave that message. If you need somebody with the city to get back to you with your concern, make sure you leave your name and contact information, either a phone number, an email address. And if you're leaving contact information for us to get back to you in that voicemail, make sure that you really deliberately spell out any email address or slowly say the phone number so that we can make sure that we can get back to you. Again, just stay on the line to leave those voicemail messages, and we'll make sure that somebody with the city gets back to you if you leave contact information. I'll read the results of our poll. We ran it one more time, and it stayed pretty much the same, but we asked you to list the city services that are most important to you and give us the one that you would focus on. 31% of you said maintaining robbery and burglary suppression programs is the most important. We had 20% that said maintaining clean and safe public spaces was most important. We went up to 18% on maintaining 911 emergency response times, and then 16% apiece for repairing potholes and maintaining improving city roads, and as well for 16% for expanding youth recreation programs and facilities. Thanks so much for voting in that poll. That's great feedback for us, and we appreciate it. Thanks, of course, to everybody who submitted questions. I'm going to read that PSA regarding the census one more time, then I'll give the Mayor a chance to close out. We wanted to let you know, of course, that on Saturday, February 1st, the city will host a 2020 Census Education and Job Recruitment event. You can learn why it's so important for everyone to take part and be counted. Also, the census is hiring temporary workers in Riverside County, so So you can come to this event and learn what job opportunities are available. Again, that's the 2020 Census Education and Job Recruitment event. It's 10 a.m. to noon on Saturday, February 1st, and that's at the city's Conference and Recreation Center next to City Hall at Alessandro and Frederick. Really appreciate everybody participating. I'll give the last word to Mayor Gutierrez. Please go ahead.
Well, thank you so much, Ian, and I'm really excited, again, that we got all of these questions answered. I just want to say I'm very proud and humbled to serve as your mayor, and really, it's a great experience to be here and to really hear from you, what are the major concerns. And, I've heard some concerns, from homelessness to the streets to crime and safety, and I really appreciate you taking that time to actually vote in that poll, because it does tell us, that public safety is the main priority that many of you have, and it is important because, a lot of times, crime isn't down, for the victim. And so what we do need to do is, really think outside the box and really take that into account and to address your issues. So what I can tell you, again, as we close tonight, I just want to say thank you again for participating, and I do want to mention that there's a lot of great things, a lot of positive things happening in our community, from more jobs coming into the city. Remember, we had 20,000 jobs in just the past 6 years. Well, you know what? We're adding more and more and more. And my vision as the mayor is to make sure that we're a destination city. And that's why we're working on a town center, we're working on an amphitheater, we're working on making sure that this community is very safe for all and that we make the city work for all of you. So again, without further ado, have a great night. Thank you so much for participating. Thank you, Ian, and thank you to all the residents.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mayor. Stick on the line to leave those voicemail messages. Make sure you leave contact information if you need us to get back to you. Have a great night.